All right, take two, round two.
Yay!
What
All
up?
right.
For everybody
How
at
we
home,
What's
doing?
we
up?
thought we were live, but we did not actually go live.
Yeah,
We
it
were
was. It
having the
wasn't.
best conversation though.
Yeah, it wasn't too long. It wasn't too long. It was like maybe a minute or two until Dimitri, Killzone 619 caught it. Yeah, so I mean, it
He
happens.
said,
Technical difficulties. I blame it on the weather, and that's what we're talking about. It's pretty
yeah,
cold over here, so I think it's just. I think
pretty
for
cold.
us, yeah. Well, for us, it's pretty cold. It's like I think it's like 30 now. I think it was like 25, 20 something. So not too bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be -4 here tonight.
Oh wow,
Ooh.
man! So I can't
Our
wait.
low is 43, so I'm pretty cool.
Yeah, it
40.
snowed again today. Kentucky.
Wow. And see, and Chris, he's new to this whole thing, this whole concept of snow. Of I mean, because like he's where he's from, like I probably never seen it before. And so this is something foreign. So
Actually, you know what's funny? The first year I was brought here as a child in '88, it was the first year it snowed in Florida, and then after that it hasn't. So it hasn't snowed in 36 years.
Damn.
Before today.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get out in it?
No. My girlfriend was out there for a little while. I was thinking
Yeah.
about going to do some taking shots outside, but I was like, nah,
Yeah,
the
man.
light's not good. It looks like Seattle out there right now.
Get you a snow job, man. Get you a frost giant. Or was it the troll? Is it? Do they have a troll in the kind of
Yeah.
frost thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
KT has it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm worried
probably
because I was working on the garage before this, and I was like, man, my phone actually it's pretty. And so it's cold. I mean, outside, but I think it's colder in the garage for some reason, and it's just like
Mhm.
so cold in there. And my phone was actually starting to kind of act up a little bit. Like, oh crap, I need to go ahead and get out of here because it's starting to kind of maybe it's a little too cold if my phone is starting to kind of not react as quick as it usually is, kind of slowing down.
Mhm.
So
I like how you say that is there a frost troll as it's literally on the top right of Rob. You can see it all blue.
Yeah, you can
oh
literally
man,
see it.
let's see here. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he's back there.
Nice. Oh man, you guys doing all right?
Too
Pretty
bad.
good.
Other than the
Not
cold.
complain.
Just been
Yeah.
packing.
Yeah, Dimitri, you got a little.
My TV's gone in the back.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, everything's kind
Oh,
of starting
no.
to unpack. So they kicking you out, or what's?
No, I just move in. Like management's been pretty bad here lately. Like
Wow.
what's it called? I think about past 5 months, there's been a mold issue, and I was like, it was the AC dripping
Mm.
down, and my AC's on the top
Oh.
part. I was like, we need to have the walls complete because it was dripping through the wall. You can hear it actually dripping inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, we need to have it like completely taken out because one, we don't know the water damage inside, and two, it's what's it called? Been dripping for a while, probably about non-stop continuously. This was like back to when in the summertime, so Cali here is getting like 80s and 90s just in the daytime, which is pretty decent, but it
Mhm.
was 90 in the actual apartment.
Yeah,
So
that's just
Yeah.
it's been a whole issue now, and they're only going to getting on top of it now because we contacted their regional managers.
That's good though. But
Yeah.
yeah, moving that stinks. Especially, I mean, I know moving from one house to an apartment to a house. I mean, that's just man, that was such a nightmare. And I can only imagine now all the stuff that because I was single when I moved out of my house, and then I got married, and me and my wife got an apartment. And then so that's basically she had a house, I had a house, we got into a small apartment, put our stuff in storage, and then we got it moved into our house that we have now. I can only imagine the stuff we've accumulated together. And now and if we ever decide to move, it's like now we gotta take all that stuff. It's like I look at my room and I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's like
It took me a whole 6 months to move.
Damn.
yeah, oh my gosh. That's
I
the
still
thing
have
that
so
worries
much
me.
stuff.
It is always
Yeah.
exciting though, thinking about like how can I set this up differently? How can
Oh,
I,
yeah.
have this
Yeah.
new space? How can I best accommodate my collection?
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yep, that is true. Because I told my wife if we do move, I mean, if you want to move close to your family up north, I'm fine with that. But as long as I get my space, I can, we find a house that has a little, my room, my toy room doesn't have to be because right now it's double as a theater, so we have to clean up whenever we have company because if they want to watch the movie, especially now, I think I'm gonna have to clean up because I think we're gonna have movie night for Gladiator 2.
Mhm.
That's it's already
Was
out
that
on
out yet
Paramount.
already?
It's
Nice.
on Paramount Plus.
Paramount, yeah, man. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, damn, I gotta clean all this. I gotta clean all this crap up now. So I gotta move everything out of the way. I gotta tear down my tripod, everything. So, but no, it's good because yeah, you start getting ideas. You start kind of like, oh yeah, I want to do this.
Yep.
Some of the stuff that you get is really big, so we'll show.
Is your cat slayer in there?
I mean, it's set up right now. Partially, I had to take some of it to get off, but I guess
Good Lord.
I mean we can get into it right now. I
Yeah.
mean, as far as
You
like
should set up a second camera on the cat layer, like one camera on your
Specifically on
face.
cat layer.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but
Permanently
then
there.
I thought about it, but then I was like, I don't know how the logistics and everything. I thought about having upstairs, but I do like having the big space
Right.
to monitor everything. So, but yeah, as far as what was picked up, it was definitely this bad boy that was delivered on Sunday. So, I mean,
Crazy.
that thing is just like that
And
thing is
Super
just
7
so
figures
messy.
aren't true like 6-inch, right? They're like a bit taller.
No, they're
right?
like 7.5.
Yeah, they're pretty tall. I mean,
They're-
maybe
they're-
not McFarlane.
I think they're a
but-
little bigger than Legions, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. Yeah, I mean they're in line with classics. I mean, if
Yeah.
so, yeah. I mean, this thing is just a beast. I mean,
So is this your
monster.
cat layer, or is this just a stock photo of them?
no, this is mine. This is my room. This is how it
Okay.
is upstairs right now.
Okay, cool.
Well, I
cool.
took so I
It looks like
I
it's got
took
a
the
base, kind of.
well, no. That's my extreme set. That's the basis I use all the time for my dials and
Mm.
my shots and everything. So yeah, I think that brown piece there, that's the mansion base from extreme sets. So then that's the I think that's a sci-fi base from one of their sci-fi sets. I always just leave it there just because I'm always like, running and gunning. Just set, quick setup, tear her down, what have you. So, but no, that was just like, yeah. So right now, because of just the logistics of having to move this thing around, I took just for the shots right here, the beauty shots, the money shots. I had everything together, the paws, the steps, and the head. But right now I took the paws off, took the head off, and that's those three things right there. They go in their separate box. So there was 2 boxes that came with this thing. One for this whole base and all the accessories, and then another one just for the head and the paws. So
How hard
these
is it
things-
to put together?
easy. That's the beauty thing. I was
Nice.
telling Demetri a
That's
little
great.
bit.
That's good.
Yeah. There is a clicking. It sounds like they kind of snap in the paws when you kind of just roll them in, when you kind of just guide them in there.
Yeah.
Which kind of worries me as you take it on and off. I mean, I'm gonna not mess with it as much, but I'm also can't have it displayed as much. So I'm gonna try and get as much as I can, and then kind of just store it, and then hopefully, if we do move, like I said, I mean, I could always have this displayed somewhere because it's beautiful, man. This thing is just,
Yeah.
I mean, to have it set up like that, I'm like, damn. I was just sitting there doing, work, and I'm looking over, going, man, that thing's just all awesome. I do need to put batteries in it though, but yeah, it's definitely a great piece. I'm gonna send
What
I thought I
what
had
lights up on it? The eyes in the chest or something?
Yeah, the eyes in the chest, and on the back of it. I didn't get a picture of that, but I
Because there's like
need
a whole
to-
internal, right? Inside.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a computer console on the inside
Yeah.
of it, and I think it lights up.
yeah, and that lights up too. So
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So fortunate to live in a time where people can enjoy a fucking cat slayer
That's
that's
crazy.
yeah,
36 inches.
Or dread it coming in. Both.
It's true.
let me show the back real quick. Because yeah, I mean, I was stressed, man. I was just like, man, things coming in, and I did explain to my wife. I did tell her, and she was kind of like, oh my god. But I was like, but I'm like, babe, I mean, think of it as investment. Because more likely, I'm probably not going to hold on to this thing. I mean, I love it. I'm a fan of the Thundercats, but ultimately, this thing's going to go up in value probably. And it's like, hey, we can always flip it. You can flip it when I'm gone. I mean, just keep it in the box, keep it stored. Because the way you can pack it back into styrofoam is great. Because everything just goes right back in. Nice and easy. You can just store it years down the road when I'm gone. Hey, flip this thing for like however many thousands it might be worth or whatever. I mean, who knows if it'll be worth that much? I know the Castle Grayskull, like Snake Mountain from Super 7, that's still kind of like, I mean, it's like $1,000 or so, or two, maybe gets to 2,000, but I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's a nice little chunk of
Mountain
change.
gets up there.
I feel
Snake
like a
Mountain.
closer comparison is probably that boat, that G.I. Joe boat. You know what I mean? Like that was.
Oh, the flag, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those
So
things
that-
get crazy.
Yeah. They can be. I mean, especially vintage, or instead of especially all like mints, basically. Even if it's open, but you have everything together, that's just
Yeah.
like crazy.
It's nuts.
But yeah, this is the back of it, the shell. that opens up, and I still got a picture of the inside. But again, it's kind of hard to open because man, these open up really wide. So trying to maneuver to get shots inside of it is really. I mean, I should have just had it on the floor, but yeah, I mean, this thing is just gigantic. And I started using this this mountain kind of piece for like shots earlier today. So, and then probably tomorrow, just having the background for some forest stuff, kind of put some trees in front of it and some greenery. But yeah,
Nice.
pretty nice. Yeah, just again with the Ghostbusters coming out, the Ecto One, and then I mean, who knows? I mean, people might be getting a dragon. I mean, that's dragon level right there. I mean, that's just. I mean, I don't know where people are gonna put all this stuff because it's just crazy. Let's
You
look at
mean
the
you
chat.
don't know where you're gonna put all this stuff?
Well, I'll probably not get the dragon. I mean, there's no way. If I'm stressing out about this thing here, there's no way. I mean, and I'm fine with the dragon. I'm like, hey, I'll let people enjoy that, but I'm just like, I'm good. I'm like, I mean, yeah. And now if they had said they would come out with a castle or something like that, or some sort of like play set, yeah, yeah, that would get my adrenaline going. But yeah, I'm good without the dragon. There's the
What's up,
man
Anime?
Lex. What's up, man?
What's good, guys? What's
What's
going
up?
on?
How we doing?
Good.
What's up, anime figure statue collector? What's up, man?
Oh,
What's
it's
up,
Boss
Oz?
Pajamas
What's up,
Toys
Oz?
is here.
It's good.
We got Pinsy Picks. What's up, Chris?
Fancy
Chris,
Evening,
how we doing,
gentlemen.
man?
Up.
Yeah, we're trying to stay warm. Shoot, it's really cold out here now. We got Chewy in here. Jay, Chewy.
Hey,
Love no chewing. Was good.
KJ in the house.
What up?
It's good, bro.
Saying what's up. But yeah, we were going through our pickups, and I'll finish up. I got the Xandar from Classifieds, the Zartan's brother. So
Nice.
he's a
He's a
dreadnought.
bad guy,
So
right? A good guy.
yeah, dreadnought.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, he's a journey.
little mercenaries that they got on the crew. And then I got Leatherneck. So again, just a base, classic character.
Mhm.
So I don't know if he's on here.
Plastic on the gun still? Because I know they changed the plastic. Like I wouldn't say recently, but around the 60th anniversary figures, are they a bit like bendable easier? I know the ones
I
are
mean,
super bendable, like not super sturdy.
These it's a little bit sturdier. I mean, but I
Okay.
mean, it's still. I don't mind the guns. I don't mind them being like that. I mean, sometimes because like with Mezco, I mean, even though those are really really good looking, like up close in pictures and stuff, man, I'm so worried I'm gonna break something when I'm handling it,
Yeah.
or if it falls. I mean, like those Tommy guns, like those barrels are so super thin, man. If that falls, I mean, on the right spot, it'll snap. So yeah, I just worry about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then got the trio.
Nice.
Titus
So-
and the other two guys. Does anybody know the other
Yeah.
guys' names?
Yeah, no, nobody knows. It's like Chariot, Claridon, Clarinet, or something. It's just like, I mean, somebody will correct us in the chat, but yeah. So
So John, are all your Warhammer figures did you army build, or did you get like each individual release character, whatever it's called?
well, no, this is based on the game. So in the game, this is like the three people that you play. Well, you play as Titus, but then you have two guys that back you up if you're. Well, you think you can if you do
You
multiplayer.
can play at them, yeah. It's all three.
Yeah, but if you go offline, then they're there as the what's the term?
AI or bots.
NPC or whatever, or non-playing character. They just back you up and stuff. So, but they're the main. They're like they're part of the story. So. I was like, and that's the thing, playing a game or watching a show or something like that. You just like, damn, I need some figures of this. It's like you just sitting there just playing, like, man, that's nice. But yeah, I mean, of course, Titus is like the main person on the show, so on the game. So I'm just surprised that Chris didn't get it, but I know he doesn't get the blue Marines.
He's in blueberries.
Blueberries, that's what it is. Blueberries. He goes with Death Angels. So I
Dark
do need to get
Angels.
some salamanders though. Dark is it Dark Angels or Blood Angels?
Dark Angels. There's Blood Angels, and then there's Death Guard, which are all different.
Oh, okay.
Casey.
Okay, so like actually.
Oh man! Before we finish up, here is the man, the guest, the man of the hour, our special guest for this evening. He does a lot of great work. This gentleman here. We got a chance to hang out with him at Legion's Con. Some of us did, and man, one of the coolest cats in the room. I mean, I can hear him talk for hours. I think I did too. But no, he does amazing work, man. I call him the Louis Vuitton of dial makers, because this stuff is just like so impressive. I mean, it's gorgeous. But yeah, everyone just, let's welcome 78 points of articulation in the house. What's up, man?
How we
What up?
doing?
What's up? Good morning. Good morning from over
Morning.
the other side of the world, guys.
Good morning. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Sorry for being a bit late. Yeah,
No,
have to
you're
get
good,
the kids
man.
out to
Good.
school. Get the kids out to school, and I can pop in.
nice, man. Because you're Indonesia, right?
Yeah, man. I'm on the other side of the world, man.
Woo,
I ended up out here for work. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
man.
How
this
does
is
that
crazy.
Thanks for having me on, guys, and very kind
thanks
words.
for-
And it was great to meet you. I mean, you came up to me because I'd recognized the logo, but faces, man. That was the thing there. Like, I didn't know who people were, because it was my first time meeting everyone in the community, after 8 years in this community or whatever it is. So that was kind of cool. Overwhelming, but yeah, very cool. So cheers. I'm still drinking my second cup of coffee, guys. Apologies for
No,
that.
you good, man. You good, man. I haven't started on the bourbon yet. We'll wait. I'll wait till after the show.
Oh yeah. No, I got a meeting later on, but yeah, I got a presentation, so I gotta. Otherwise
You
it
gotta
would be
be-
on.
You gotta be on the
Yeah.
up and up right now. I get it.
John knows how it was at Legion's Con. It was 2 bottles in 2 days.
Oh, man, yeah. Well, I mean, KT and we killed a bottle like in pretty much like an hour. It was like up in my room.
It wasn't a whole bottle though. It was like whatever you had left. I don't know how much was left.
Well,
of it.
yeah. I started that because I couldn't wait for you guys. I was just like, I'll get started on this here now, and when you guys come up, and then we'll finish it off. So, but no, man, glad to have you on, man. Glad you invited. I know it's a little early up there, but yeah, we want to just have you on and get to learn a little bit more about you and kind of just your whole process and just how you got into this whole game. Because I mean, yeah, you do dial making, but you also you're as we can see, you're big into collecting as well. So.
Yeah, well, it all starts from there, right? It all starts from collecting, and I guess the origin story is similar to everyone. We're kids, we got the toys as kids. Probably, I was heavy into comics as well, and I was born in Japan, grew up there as a youngin, so anime, manga was also like, I didn't even realize it was an influence. Like, it was just part of life, that's how it is over there. Cartoons, like, I guess the Western version, like cartoons for kids. In Japan, like, everyone reads manga. It's just literature, It's a different attitude towards it there, right? So yeah. So, and then traveling around the world, Joes were the big thing because they were a bit smaller. I started with He-Man as a kid, and then we moved, and I don't know what happened to my He-Man He-Man, and then Joe's and the articulation and all that, and they were smaller, so when we moved, I could take them with me. So
yeah,
Joe's were the big thing as a kid.
Nice. And
then discovered comic books, and Joe's started getting weird in the late 80s, early 90s. The mid 90s. That I wasn't really into the purples and the pinks as a kid. They didn't look cool to me. They were a bit too, cartoony and stuff. So then I went into comics and then discovered superheroes and the X-Men and Batman and all that, and that was all in there. And unfortunately, the figures were, I had some from like that Secret Wars line that they just retroed recently. The packaging, at least, right? I had a couple of those, the silly shields. Yeah, and then, I don't know. I've always been buying stuff, but I got into 1/6 for a while. Buying.
Ooh, man, that's
it's really expensive, right? And then I was in Australia when I was doing 1/6, and then I moved from Australia to here for work. And that was a problem. I had to sell a bunch of stuff to move. Well, I just couldn't take it with me, basically. So, and then I started dabbling, and it was SHF, I think. Yeah, SHF. And then when Hasbro got Legends, like seeing it, okay, they're a bit more, I guess, the Toy Biz stuff, the look was different, right? They had more of this kind of like, not as generic, you know what I mean? They were very more like inspired by creators, so they had specific looks. Right. And they didn't move so well sometimes. The joints were a bit too big, things like that. So I didn't really get into the Toy Biz stuff, but then when the Legends came, Hasbro took over, that's, I guess, when it really hit. And then, that was during all the MCU hype and all that. And then pandemic came around, and, I'm an architect, and I was like, I got a camera. I got an old camera. I got this. I started with the phone, right? And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna take this too seriously. I'm not gonna do the Photoshop. I'm just gonna do photos on my phone. And then you're like, that looks shit. Buy a light. Oh, it's looking a bit better. You buy a second light. Oh, that's a bit better. Then you buy, these guys got dioramas. You buy one, you buy two, you buy three. And you're like, fuck it. Let's get the camera out. You get the camera out, and then you start, trying to figure it out. And then you get all of a sudden, I guess everyone here is, when you're doing that toy photography, there's like a moment where things kind of just start making sense.
Yeah.
All right. There's that, I don't know. It's like there's one photo usually like, holy shit, I did that. Like, the 3-point lighting, whatever it is. It like, oh, damn, that's it. Right? And then the dioramas. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm an architect. I make these for work as well. And coincidentally at the same time, so I started making, my own dioramas. And then we often outsource model making for projects, like for buildings and things. During the pandemic, architecture work stopped. I don't do residential. I don't do private residence because it's just too much drama. So these model makers hit me up and they're like, hey, guy, do you have any work where they have no work? And I said, well, you want to try doing something together? Like, you want to pivot and try to do something different? Still models, but different scale and, different looks. They don't have to be accurate, And they're like, okay. So we started dabbling in that, and I made a few, which I can show you guys if you want. I guess I can share through present, share screen, tab. Here we go. Yeah. Does that show up, John?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that first one in end of October 2021, I made a back alley. Yes, it's the generic thing to do. Back then, everyone was doing back alleys. So I was like, all right, I'll do one. And I made less than a dozen. I gave some out to some friends and sold a couple to guys because at that time there was a big thing like, who are you? If I give you $50, $100, $200, am I going to get anything? So there was also that. Like I was sending them out before getting paid.
Wow.
Just because I understood from them, like they don't know who I am, they don't know
that makes sense
about me, right?
Yeah.
And then I made sure I gave somewhere, made deals with some guys who had a reputation. And then Mando came out, so I did the Tatooine one. And then I got the first horseman, the first of the horsemen, the Arethyr wave came out, so I did the mythical one there with the arch. And then
nice.
Cyberpunk. The Cyberpunk one was because the game was meant to come out, but it got delayed. But the game was meant to come out at that time, and I did, like you can see there's a kind of yellow-orange wall.
Yeah.
I was trying to take a wall from level on Metal Gear Solid there. It didn't quite work out, but yeah, that diorama works well under like a blue light. Everything glows. And I just kept going. And one of the things I did decide to do was that it's all batch production. So I open up, like John knows, Emerald Knight knows, I open up either a limited number of slots or there's like a 1 week, 2 week pre-order window, and then that's it. And I make it and I'll never make it again. So this is not like a catalog of what's in stock. This is everything sequential. I do one, then I move on to the next. That's one thing from my side, batch production's easier. And the main thing is actually for the guys who do support, they know not everyone's going to have this, and that what they have is not going to be available. It's special, and better jump on kind of thing. Because once it's gone, that's it. I'm pretty stoked that some people have, okay, after 2 years, they're like, I don't need this anymore. They sell it. It maintains the value, which is great, or if not a little bit more. So that's exciting.
I need to find out who's selling them because, man, I need to get that bodega.
Bodega, I haven't heard. I just know like a guy who was selling his collection had like the number 2, number 4. Yeah, he sold those number 2 and number 4.
Yeah, I think the first one I got from him, I think was number 9, the ruined city one, or like that was
So that was That came out about like discussing with other toy photographers. They're like, hey, we want more prop based diorama kits or sets. And I was like, oh, you mean like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? They're like, oh, just do a whole bunch of accessories. I'm like, yeah, I need a theme. I usually have like a story. And so I was like, all right, the ruined building. And then some guys are like, oh, that's a bit too small. So then I quickly made, because number 10 was like a bigger, a 2-story building that attached to that. So yeah, but that, I mean, that I use that one all the time because it's just loose pieces of like rubble and broken stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And, the last thing I worked on or working on right now is the rooftop and a dungeon, which just went out yesterday, John. DHL picked it up.
Oh, it did?
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be in your, it's usually like they use their Doctor Strange portal, so it should be there in like 48 hours, right?
Pretty
They're
quick. I
crazy,
think
man.
you shipped out the rooftop, and it was like here within like maybe 4 days. I think at the minimum. I think it was like it was really, really quick.
If you're in LA, well, I don't know right now after the fires, but in LA, sometimes it was like less than 48 hours. People are getting it. They're crazy.
Yeah.
DHL is amazing. So over the years, some people have used it for actual product shots. So, I didn't know like the main photographer for Mondo was going to use the rooftop in the back. Sergeant Bananas, Johnny, he never tells me he's using my stuff either, but he uses it a lot. And then Trevor, 1/6 shooter, he threw it in the latest one, not the latest, but the previous AWOC photo shoot.
Nice.
Which was pretty
Oh,
cool.
nice.
So I don't know this happens. It's just like someone tells me or I come across it. Just pretty exciting. Yeah. I mean, with Johnny, it's like I have beef because I can't stand most of Super 7.
Yeah.
And I tell him like the only thing that I support from Super 7 is the reaction figures because it's kind of, I get it, I don't like the price point, but I get what they're doing. I don't like the ultimate stuff. I think that's just a bit, too much for what you're paying for, right? You don't get enough. So you notice he's only doing the reactions.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw it was I was on BBTS and I saw the Mirage, I saw it in the background of his and the photos for the, I think it was like Sesame Street. It was like the Sesame Street.
Yeah, Sesame Street down here. Yeah, on the right, bottom right. Yeah,
that one. I was just like, whoa, that's like, I know that dial. And then I think I put it in the Discord, the one we're in.
That's right. You did. You were the guy. You see, I didn't know. I'm not looking at Sesame Street reaction figures. You're the one who told me that. And I was like, oh, stoked. So this is the first one. It's a bit generic. What I wanted to try and show off was like, hey, I'm going to give you different brick textures. I don't know why, but I thought that would be cool. Like and each wall is different, right? So there's no and you can set it up flat, so it's like 3 buildings. And I gave some accessories and things like that. The tattooing one, the door actually is loose, so you can open it. And then the arch, which is magnetized, it's also loose. Oh yeah, I always forget that this has the lanterns there. Like I myself never set it up with the lanterns anymore. But the little magnetized lanterns. I tried that out with hot glue. Cyberpunk one. One of my things is like Cyberpunk often, and like if when you Google it and all that, like the Japanese characters are incorrect and things like that. So I get a bit annoyed being, I can read it and stuff like that. So I made sure everything here makes sense. That says massage on the top left. Yeah. And then again for Legions, because I'm into the Legions mythical lines, fantasy lines. So I wanted to do like a sacrificial something like so. That's
nice.
the tablet there,
nice.
Right, with the skull cave, which it's gray skull. And I like skulls, so
hey, nothing wrong with that.
And everything's loose as well. And the idea was like in the opening, Mezco sometimes gives you that plastic prop for like the smoke clouds. Like that fits right behind there, like perfectly the same height. And then again, this is one of the things where everyone wanted that first back alley, like, oh, make it again. I'm like, no. So I did a remix, which is a Japanese back alley. So you have like the sushi restaurant on the right, a different restaurant on the left. You had the ramen stand there, and the garage is a blue garage door instead of a traditional silver. So this is a slightly remix on that. Then I did the rooftop, which was based on a Detective Comics cover where Two-Face hanging off the hour hand and Batman's there, and I just like took the whole design, made it, and I gave accessories, and everything's loose. So this was a big hit for me. Like this kind of put me on people's radars.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I did another castle. The doors open. The mythical stuff's in some ways easier to do in terms of the build because you don't have to follow rules or a reference. You're making it all up. It's all like freestyling.
I mean, just the like. I mean, to make the like the little indent, like the actual here in the on the wall pieces. I mean, like how hard is that to do? I mean, just the little designs and stuff.
So I make it. I cut it all out of foam first. I make the master out of foam, and then for this stuff, I put a layer of GRC or it's like a paste. That's like a white paste, and that's like a cement paste, like a mild cement paste. And while it's drying, not when it's first wet, while it's drying, you can make all these marks. And in different points of the drying process, you go in and add the textures. I'm sure you've seen the guys that use like the aluminium foil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I grew up in Australia as well, so I say aluminium, not aluminum. Aluminium foil, the ball, and they roll it to get the textures on the bricks. Yeah, same kind of thing. I do aluminium foil in here and I roll it, but that's when it's almost dry. But I make the big cracks while it's a bit wetter, and then so there is this time thing. Like you're like, okay, I gotta get the fucking lines in. It's you got like an hour to 2 hours to do it, and then. I do like doing the homages, like I mentioned, the comic book inspiration. So the pillar in the front's from Elden Ring.
Nice.
So that's the unlock the maps.
Yes.
You have to find those. So I try. It's not as tall because it just didn't fit in the packaging. And then there's the one that John jumped on first. So it's just all loose. Everything comes apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was also did it as it was cheap, right? I made it smaller. So my biggest cost, as John knows, is the shipping.
Yeah.
Like DHL, even though it's amazing, it's an arm and a leg, man. And sometimes because people used to really get on me, like, how come it's $100 to ship? So I actually put 20% of the shipping cost into the Dio cost when I tell people the cost, because I just got so paranoid about that shit. So this, the shipping, I reduced it. It's much smaller. It's half the size of a normal Dio. So I think it came into just under 200 for everything here.
Yeah.
And then I made this bigger one here because people were like, hey, I need a building that's broken. I'm like, all right. And then this is something I'd been thinking about for a while, to do something for the turtles. And the Mirage Turtle 4-pack that came out about 1.5 years ago at around SDCC, they announced that the year previous, right? They had the figures. We didn't know anything about it. And I got really excited. I was like, holy shit, because I love the Mirage comic turtles. I don't mess with the toons. And the thing was, I was like, okay, I can do. Everyone was. The first thing is, do a sewer. I was like, okay, so I made a mock-up of the sewer and stuff. And then NECA announced their sewer, and I was like, oh fuck. And then Ace from Ramen Toys is like, I'm doing a sewer. And then shout out to my buddy Duarte. He's like, I'm doing a sewer. And I was like, God damn it, man! Everyone's doing a sewer. So I was like, I was a bit butthurt. I was like, no, what am I gonna do? And I got the Casey Jones from that Mirage line, and I opened it, and the packaging is on the picture on the right here, and they had colored the Eastman Laird artwork, which on the left was the last colored version. You can see they don't color the buildings; it's still black and white.
Yep.
And so I was like, black and white buildings is a bit boring, but they colored it on the right, and I was like, boom, that's it. Okay, I can make that. And then I went back into the comics, and I found this building here in the background with the boarded up windows, and then basically did it.
Oh,
nice.
So this allows a bit more freedom as well, because you're trying to emulate not the cartoon, but the comic book, so it's looser. The windows you see are all a bit loose. it does have that, not cell shading, but the black outline on everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the colors, just because of what the packaging did, that you can have a blue building, an orange building, and then I gave you the traditional terracotta red there on the left.
I was gonna say it has a very animated, like cartoon look.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the door is open on the middle one. The ladder is strong enough for a guy to hang off, and
Nice.
it came with a bunch of
Jeez.
accessories as well. And then I did a limited edition, just straight up black and white
Awesome.
for the comic book.
Nice.
And then
And see-
another thing at SDC, yeah, sorry.
No, I was going to just say for that one, for that dial, I was like, oh, I saw it. I was like, man, I thought about it, but I was like, I don't have any turtles. So it's like, I think I'm good. But then, I recently got the Mezco turtles and I'm just like, damn it.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, those Mezco turtles. Yeah, they're something else, man. I'm sorry.
Like,
There's
I
something else.
that.
And they just, yeah, now I've got the Joy Toys in my hand.
Oh,
It's
nice.
just opened up a thing. Fucking hell, man. Fuck you, Mezco. I love you. Speaking of
That's how
Mezco,
it starts.
so
Yeah, man. Yep.
SDC last year, 2 years ago as well. They had the Doc Knock 5 points playset,
Yes.
but it had like a cardboard background.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. I'm like, they're not gonna make that in 112. They're gonna do something. They're gonna re-release him in 112. I knew that he was coming, and I hit up Paige, and I'm like, Paige, because he was there, send me photos of that backdrop in the dial. So he did. Like, he was really good about it. Like, it's like from the front, from the side, from the top, from here. So I made it 112.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
and I was hoping that the Doc Knock that some people are getting now, I just got my shipping notice, yeah, not in stock, guys, but anyway, when it was coming out, sometime after SDCC when this was announced,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. So
Mhm.
I kind of missed I didn't get that lightning in the bottle moment, but yeah. And then Demon Slayer anime.
Oh, man.
So this is
so
like
nice.
taken from the anime, like I screenshots, and then the lanterns, the hanging lanterns have LEDs in them. The 2 lanterns on the ground have a light in there as well, and the doors slide open. So, yeah. And then the corridor was from last year, beginning like a year ago. This is a direct copy of the movie The Raid, which is a big film for Indonesia. Like, Indonesia's like, it put them on a map. Like, hey, we can make movies.
What's the movie called?
Raid.
The Raid.
Oh, Raid. Okay.
Yeah.
Raid Redemption.
Yeah.
And they had 2 parts, yeah. And like the fighting sequence in this corridor, if you like like the Daredevil Netflix series, they have the corridor scene, right? That's from the Raid. That's all homaging this film. Like, this is the one that did it, and it's an amazing sequence. And
so is Ong Bak not Indonesian? Is it Malaysian?
That's Thai.
He's Thai. He's Thai. Yeah.
Okay.
Ong Bak's Thai. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So there was a thing going on for a while in Indonesia. Like, they wanted to put the 2 together, like, and make like a duo team, and
Yeah, whatever happened to him? Like, he did like 2 good movies, and then like I don't know where he went.
Yeah, he couldn't speak English. I know that.
Yeah,
his English was really bad, and so yeah.
And then it was the same thing for the main character, the main actor of Man of Tai Chi, the one that was like Keanu Reeves' debut. Directorial debut. He did a pretty good job in that movie, and then nothing American wise, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the details, but I know at that time he was struggling with English, and I don't know, maybe the market, like the American market, doesn't want to make those films or something. I don't know.
I think like
it could have been a weird streaming thing where they
I think Hollywood Hollywood just got more like like kung fu flicks, like when you were a kid, like they were always like, I mean, they were dubbed or like they were subtitled, so like we were used to it. I guess that's something that like the newer generations weren't used to, so Hollywood said, F it, we're not doing that shit no more. So
yeah, it's too much of a risk or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's dope, man. I like this one. Yeah.
So, and the idea was like, you have the L-shaped corridor as a set, but if you want to build it out, you buy 2 and then it connects. So you get a bigger corridor, and if you want to get crazy, you're making an apartment building.
So the on the side there, the little bulbs, so like that's
they light up. Yeah.
They actually light up.
There's actually a light in there.
Oh, nice.
And then one of the struggles, if with a diorama that has a ceiling, is how do you get light in there right?
Yeah.
So what I have here, you can see like there is the lights on top. I put a little bit of translucent paper so you can illuminate it from above.
Nice.
Nice.
Right. And then Savage Crucible came out early last year, so I wanted to time that, and so I made a Savage Ruins, and I took like their alphabet and I put it on the column, the little obelisks there. Everything's loose again, so again it falls into that thing of like accessory building with a base. And you know the mythical stuff, like in some way, like I don't know, because I'm not so involved in the Cabal and things like that, so they're much more limited. Yeah, there's like half a dozen, 8 of these. That's it. Yeah.
The tree, though, man, that tree looks amazing.
Oh, the roots. Yeah, the roots was something I kind of like. Just I stumbled on. Like I think must have been like subconscious. Must have watched it on some YouTube tutorial or something. It's basically just metal wire with masking tape, painter's tape. So you just wrap it around, and you get that thickness, and then paint it. Now the tree trunk, it's a bit cartoony. Yeah, I've been playing how to make tree trunks.
It looks great, man. I mean, it looks amazing.
It's just hot glue on a toilet roll.
Yeah, it's got. I didn't even try about that. I've done the kind of like paper mache type deal and kind of messing with that on a paper towel roll and kind of with masking.
Yeah, so you wrap it. Yeah, you get the paper towel, you wrap it around, make paper mache so it stays, and then you just hot glue it.
Nice.
Yeah. And then to do kind of like a 180 on all that kind of stuff, I took inspiration from another thing I was into as a kid was music, or not kid, but teen. Paul's Boutique from the Beastie Boys, the Beat Nuts EP there, and Fat Beats. My dad's from New York, and so I got my grandma used to live, I was there when she was alive, and so I used to visit New York as a teen. I used to go to Fat Beats and buy my mixtapes and my indie underground hip hop. It's no longer there, so I wanted to do something, and I just made it. And then I added the telegraph pole there and made sure that it's sturdy enough that you can stand and you can stick a figure on top, so you can do a Spidey shot. And that one lit up as well. It had like lights underneath the bodega awning.
I know. I've seen Henrock and Ian Saunders. I think they have this, and like, God,
yes, they do.
Dang, man. Dang, I mean,
so it's a bit different, like it was like some guys like they lost their shit when they saw this. Some guys like, oh, it's not inspired by an IP toy thing, so they're like, oh, I'm gonna skip on this. So it's a bit different. Yeah.
Now you can make. And then
this was like a Hail Mary. I didn't know if this was gonna work out or not. I was like, I wanted to go to Legion's Con, right? I was like, I looked into ticket prices and I was like, all right, it's like $1,700 to get there. Okay, I gotta make something that's worth that, to cover my ticket prices. So this is 4 feet tall, 3 feet wide. I mean, there is the Legion character on a horse. Yeah. He looks like a miniature. This is huge, and thanks to the gods out there, someone did buy it. And
you just built one, right?
I just built one. That's it. It was just the one.
I was about to say, did you have a batch of these?
No. This was just the one-off. This was a one-off. It was a Hail Mary. I didn't know if anyone was going to buy it. We just built it, and I'm glad to say someone bought it for his collection. It was a guy I don't know. He's making his own office, his home office, and he wants to put this behind him for his Zoom background. And I'm like, your what? Your Zoom background? You're going to have a castle? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you do? And he's like, I'm finance. I'm like, you're a financial advisor with this behind you? Like, shouldn't you be telling us not to buy toys? All right. Anyway.
Is this collapsible? Like, how does this break down?
Yeah. So this is about 30 pieces. So like the room on the left corner and the right corner, it's 4 walls. They become 4 walls, all the slabs, and the base is actually 3. You can see the line there. It's 4 pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they magnetize to the sides and then upwards magnetized as well.
If you want me to ask, sorry.
Go ahead.
I know it's Castle Grayskull inspiration, but the actual color pattern in the lava, it really reminds me of when you go down to that, I forgot which area, but in Khalid and Elden Ring, it reminds me of that. Was that like a big inspiration for you?
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's this Dark Souls character there.
Nice.
So, yes. Not an accident. I was playing the game, taking screenshots, and then like trying to add something. And then I made like the middle piece with the cast, the skull there, the main doors. I made another one that doesn't have the skulls.
Nice.
So it's less intimidating because I understood like someone who's buying this, like if they have that option, they may really appreciate it. So the doors open, all the doors open. They can see there the windows allow for lighting, and it was big.
So was there an actual bidding war for that, or I mean,
so it was like a weird thing. So the guy who bought it, I didn't know who he was. He had 0 posts on Instagram, right? So this guy just hits me up and is like, "Hey, I'd like to buy the castle." I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, yeah, this guy, who is this guy? He's got no posts. He's nowhere. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's not happening. So, and then Trevor and Machu, were, murmuring about buying it. And then Trevor was like, I really like it, but I don't want the skull. Can you do a thing? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So I made a new thing in the middle. And he's like, oh shit, you made it. He was umming and eyeing, and then on streams, he was like, I think I've committed to buy this. I don't know. And then it was like, Trevor was like, look, if he sells his, his lunch boxes, then he'll buy it. But then that guy, I'm waiting in line at the Valaverse table at Legions Con, and this dude, he's like 6'2", 6'4". I don't know. I'm 5'10". He was just really tall. He just points at me, and he's like, I'm buying the castle. I'm like, sure, buddy. He just and then he walks away, right? I'm like, I don't know who he is. Yeah. And I'm at the table, and then that same guy comes up and goes, hey, I'm Steve. And he just hands me a wad of cash. And I'm like, I'm buying it, but you got to pack it up now because I'm leaving now. And I'm like, fuck. So, yeah, I was amazed. And I told Trevor, and Trevor came over, what? Someone bought it? I'm like, yeah, Trev, come on. Your thing, and I told him, like, it felt like it might have been a burden, and I don't want to do that. Right? Like, look, if you really want to make sure we can make something together.
Right.
I mean, Trevor's probably going, whew, man.
Exactly, man. Like, he's like, all right, that's, 1,500 in my pocket. So
let me go get some more Legions.
Yeah, or you can.
I mean,
he has to pay. Yeah, I don't know if he pays for how much the Legions, but he has to pay for Monster Force. So. I know he's into that now.
He's into that definitely. But man, being there at Legions, they're so. I mean, I don't know if you saw where Toy Mirth Anthony, he got that huge.
Oh, he got they were right in front of me.
Yeah,
and that was like I told those guys they're called Shelf Gravy, a husband and wife team, and I told them that's the piece of the show. Congratulations, I'm. Like this is not my job, right? I have my own job, but this is a hobby. My wife teases me. It's like your hobby is just your work at a different scale. I'm like, fuck, you got me. It's architecture, fantasy architecture, right?
Yep.
So, okay, it is what it is, and I try and just do it as a way of just so my hobby is funded. That's it. That's all it is. So I don't have the same kind of like. What's the word, competitiveness with the other guys. So like going to Legions Con, I go to Duarte, I go to all the dudes who are making dialogue, I buy their stuff, I go keep doing it, we talk, it was they're like, oh, he's not like Crashbox, everyone's there, and I know everyone's competing to make sales, but I'm like, hey man, I got one thing, that's it, sold, I'm done, let's party. Giving everyone drink. I know John was there, I was pouring drinks for everybody. So
yeah. Wait, you had this at this year's Legion Con?
I did, but again, like it was only there till midday Saturday. Because the guy who bought it's like, you gotta pack it, I'm leaving now. I'm like, but fucking what, man? Like it's a 2-day show. Like I'm here to also flex. I want to flex my shit.
You had something though, still, because by the time I got to you, you had like a smaller one, like a little more,
right? So that was I made one to release or launch the orders at Legions Con, which I'll get to. So the next one that I did was the rooftop, because everyone asked for the rooftop. Everyone was like, give me another rooftop, and I was like, I'm never making that again, go away. But I'll make something else. And this was one of those moments of like, okay, like I realized work and hobby are the same thing. I'm like, well, why don't I bring what I do at work, which is I do CAD, I do 3D CAD, I design buildings. Why am I sketching everything by hand and then doing why don't I just do a model and then there's less frustration because it's Control Z. Right? Because you're making something out of foam and you're like, fuck, start again. So I did this. It's 3 buildings from 3 different comic books, and and then that was the rendering, and then the product.
Oh, so nice.
Same.
So what's the inspirations? You said it was from 3 different comics.
Yeah, it was there's a Batman comic, ASM, and a Daredevil.
Okay.
I forgot the numbers, and it was literally like some of them were panels in the book, so not covers. Like I literally I've been through every single cover of Spidey, DD, Batman, just going, okay, is there anything there? Is anything there? I was like, no. All right, start reading, start opening the books, So, and that's the other thing that happened was the IKEA Detolf was discontinued, so all my dials used to fit into Detolf.
Oh wow!
And then that was like the parameter, right? Like it's collapsible and it fits in a Detolf, because half the dudes that buy dioramas aren't toy photographers.
Oh.
They're buying it to display their figures. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the Detolf thing, 4 of them stacked, they loved it. Like 4 different themes. Awesome. So there were people who were really excited about that. And like there's a couple guys there that have like, okay, I have 3 Detolfs, I need 12 dioramas from you, or 8 dioramas from you, different themes. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then so the Detolf was discontinued. Then they released the new one, the Blali Den or whatever, which is smaller and almost like useless. No one wants it. So I was like, that kind of freed me up. Like, okay, I can do something bigger. And so that's why this is so much bigger than the other one.
Yeah, I regret not hopping on this one. This one's dope.
And it could fit everybody in a photo. And this is what I don't know who pointed it out, but someone after this photo is like, holy shit, all Spidey's villains are green.
Yeah.
That's true. Like they're green and yellow. I didn't realize that. Yeah, okay, the Rhino and Stiltman back there, but the OG dudes, a lot of them are green and yellow. It's weird. Yeah. And then this is the one that was I launched at Legion's Con, and it was a dungeon. So you got the working cuffs with chains in the back there to put prisoners in. Everything's magnetized on this one and collapsible, so you can use it and build up a scene or have ruins or a situation. And I did the torture X thing because Deadpool Wolverine, the Mark Silvestri X-Men cover with Wolverine. I was like, oh, let's do something there. But everybody was like, oh fuck, you've made a sex dungeon. I was like, oh, I didn't mean to, but then I was like, okay, I'll make a photo of that. All right. So I never posted this on IG because I was worried about getting in trouble, but everyone's like, oh, you made a mistake.
Whoa,
and then
let's see what we got here. What is this?
Yeah, so these are things that are, I don't know when they're going to come out, but they're all like in sketching and planning stages. So going to do a new Cyberpunk. Nice. I made a desert oasis thing end of last year. That's quite big, so people like that. I might do a smaller version, a limited run of that. I'm gonna do another fantasy-based one, but a bigger set because of the positive response of the rooftop, like the bigger play set kind of thing. I'm like, all right, are we gonna do a corner of a castle, 2 stories, inside, outside, and I'm hoping to collaborate with somebody, meaning that we're in discussion, to do an X-Dio, hint background. And then Snake Mountain for Legion's Con is the idea.
Oh, nice.
Well, my interpretation of that, same scale, a big-ass Snake
Mountain. Oh, no.
Yeah.
So just one of those again?
Just one, just one.
You better save, Rob. You better start saving. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's we've done. The cool thing is, like, the model team they really love doing it, and thanks to the community, it's consistent support that they're now in. Like I've hired them as permanent staff, and this whole thing supports 2 other families. Man, it's pretty awesome.
Nice.
They're they don't need to work and go find work. I'm able to give them consistent work, so they're really happy, and yeah, it's kind of cool. It has that. It's not charitable. They're making money. Like they're doing well. These guys.
Are they collectors too, or are they just like
one is? Yeah, like one is he like so I give him like when I went to Legion's Con, like I bought the exclusives and I gave them because he's in the Mythic Fantasy world. The other guy, he dabbles in and out, but now that he's getting a little bit of disposable cash, he's into exotic pets, man, which is a weird thing. Like out here, you're in the tropics, so he's got like a snapping turtle and this, and I'm like, bro,
everybody's got their thing.
Everybody's got their thing. I can't diss him on that. I can't diss him. I collect toys. So he collects like weird creatures. I'm like, all right. I'm like lizards and things. I'm like, all right, man. I hate lizard. I hate that stuff. You just keep that in your glass, boxes, man. I'm not.
Well, no, Chris has a snake. I mean, I found that out at Legion's Con. I think you had a
yeah. I do have a snake, not that exotic. It's just the corn snake, very low maintenance. She's great.
All right.
But
is it big or is it thin? Like,
she's about 4 feet, but she's maybe only about that thick.
How girthy? Tell me.
She's 4 now, and so she's gonna stop growing lengthwise, and she's just gonna start getting girthy. So hopefully, I have a little chill.
Oh man,
it happens to a lot of us.
There you go. Right? I wanted to ask. So one thing when we were kind of looking through the portfolio, it looked like the time between each project is kind of shortening. It kind of looks like you're refining the process, kind of getting things down to where you're almost like 1 month, 2 month kind of in between things. And so can you talk to us a little bit about like, the initial idea and then then the process of maybe getting from there to like the first prototype, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the initial idea is always the trickiest part. Like I'll be planning like, oh, I'm going to make a desert dio, right? So I make a big prototype. I just freestyled that one. And to see, like to feel it out, right? What up, KJ? What up, KJ? Yeah, KJ. Yeah, KJ's my guy. And I made that prototype, and from there, I kind of like, not freestyle it, but like plan out and I make sketches. All right, but then, so I was planning to do that, and I was planning to, like in the next 2 weeks, have a prototype to take photos of and start, listing. But then last week, whatever reason, I'm like, I got to do this X-Men thing. Like I've been thinking about it for a while, and so I'm like, all right, jumped on the computer, catted the whole thing out, and I have the model.
Is this also because Has Lab or is it Hasbro?
Oh yeah, that is no coincidence. That is no coincidence.
Oh, no coincidence. Okay,
yeah,
absolutely no coincidence. So I tried, like with the Turtles thing, I tried to hit that. Like that momentum.
The buzz. What's buzzing?
Yeah, the Dark Nocturnal I mentioned, like it didn't happen because Mezco'd on us, right? They teased the tip, and then they pull it out, and you're like, fuck that. Yeah. I literally just got the notice, like, hey, we created a label for you.
Wow. Thanks. So as far as where you're at, the shipping and all that stuff, how's that?
Oh,
like
don't talk about that, man. So I got in-laws in Arkansas, which doesn't help. It doesn't get any closer to me, right? So I've got a shipping warehouse in Oregon, so the tax-free kind of thing, and they receive everything, and then they'll put it in a box and send it to you for a fee. And because it's tax-free, it kind of pays itself, but then DHL comes in right up there, And so I get my stuff like every 3-4 months. Now you have to understand out here, everything's an import. Like everything's an import, right? Like your Hasbro's, they end up about 20% more, 25% more. And the Japanese stuff, you're paying basically Japanese retail a little bit more, like 5% more. So that difference, it starts getting like that. So I'm very selective with my Hasbro domestic line stuff, very selective.
Yeah. So
the Joes are a problem.
Yeah. So besides Joe's, like, what are the other main like So Mezco, do you cherry pick here and there? Because I'm assuming Mezco must charge you international shipping must be a lot.
I send it to that shipping warehouse and I send it.
Oh, so it's not as bad. Right.
Not as bad. If I do the direct thing, it's triple the price.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
So are you like a completionist or of like certain lines besides Joe's?
So like Paige, I think he listed that thing and like everything that came out last year was like 30 something. I was like, I had 25, man. That's bad. I'm like, holy shit.
Nice.
You know, I did stupid things like the decapons are like I bought 2 because I thought I could make a cool bet because of the Dick Tracy line.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're stopping it. Those dudes have the same kind of suits. Maybe someone will do customs of the other baddies from Dick Tracy, and I can use those bucks. You know, we all think like that, and then you're like, does it ever happen? Maybe, hopefully. If not, I got another set of decapons. You know, so yeah, it's bad. Yeah, you know. So the amount of the Mezco, and then everybody I guess feels the same way. Like the indie companies from China have been like killing it. Whether it's unlicensed or their own IP, they've been absolutely killing it in the last year. So you guys got 5K. I got like a version of that out here. Like that's taking more and more of the pocketbook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so you're less Hasbro.
I'm assuming you would be a big collector of Mafex if Japanese price.
Oh yeah, all
Mafex
of it, basically everything.
Figuarts, you're a big Figuarts person.
Yeah.
Which lines do you collect from figure? Like what animes and stuff like that?
What don't I collect? That's the problem there, man. It's like the One Piece stuff. I'm loving. I'm a big One Piece fan. I'm loving all the One Piece stuff. The Naruto, I did a thing like, okay, I only get the kid versions. I won't do the adults. I'll get the kids to try and Dragon Ball. I only do Dragon Ball. I don't do Z.
Okay.
To try and keep it down. But then like Dragon Ball, if I just do this, I don't know if you can see the vehicles up there, but those are those Jack Stowe vehicles.
Mm.
They're like resin mold 1/12 scale Dragon Ball vehicles. The Red Army. They did. So they got the car. They've done Bulma's bike at the right scale. They've done the copter. They've done the little scooter for lunch and things like that. Yeah. So you try.
Well,
you said that'll keep the fun, the collection small, and the fucking other thing happens.
I mean, Naruto's the kid side, the kid versions. I mean, you should be really safe there because only it's only the squad and that's it.
It depends how many Narutos you bought, right?
No, it's still not as bad as the Dragon Ball Z. I mean, every year is.
The Dragon Ball Z. Oh, Dragon Ball Z is like that is a bad girlfriend relationship, man. That's abusive.
I mean, how many Gokus can you drop?
I don't understand. I always go like how many.
But it always hits. I go to Comic-Con. I was a big anime watcher since a young kid. But Dragon Ball was always like my entry level, and after that, I was like, "Oh, here's real anime." And I was like, "Okay, I moved on to better shit."
Yeah.
So I see the younger generations, or like even like the old heads that just never stayed in touch with anime, but like they know it through Dragon Ball Z. They still go crazy for every version of Goku, and like it never fails. So I'm like, if it don't broke, don't ain't gonna fix it.
Yeah, I mean, from Bandai's side, they're like, dude, this stuff just like really, they just keep buying a different hair color. It's like fuck it, let's just do it every 6 months. Here's a new hairstyle.
Yeah,
or it's not even a style; it's literally just a different color. Like
I'm just hopping on.
Oh man.
I'm just hopping on the Naruto Shippuden line because they re-released Itachi with the cloth jacket, whatever. So I bought that, and I ran out of anime to watch because One Piece is taking a break till March, and then like all the hype anime like Dan, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
That ended, so like all the hype shit's gone. So I'm like, what do I do now? So I was like, maybe I'll try rewatching Naruto because I watched it like towards the end, towards episode a week, and it got really like there was so much filler.
It dragged out, man. It dragged out. Yeah.
So I'm like, let me give it one more watch so I can have a cohesive like like cohesive experience and understand the story. So I'm starting to rewatch it. I didn't expect it to hit like as good as it is. I'm just like, wow, I remember why I really love this shit. So I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm keeping this Itachi. And then I'm like, and I'm sort of looking at the other figs like Orochimaru, whatever, the Sasuke, whatever.
It
Naruto.
gets really dark, man.
Yeah.
It gets really dark in the later seasons, man. Yeah.
It's funny because when you watch it, you pick up. It actually, there's hints of darkness like in the kid version, the kid.
A little bit. Yeah.
You just never noticed it before. I was like, what? Oh shit! I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So like, I've done that. I got 2 kids, and my wife's also half Japanese, so we're trying to teach the kids Japanese. And I learned through anime as a kid, and so we watched Dragon Ball, we watched Naruto, we've watched so many like end to end. Rewatching them now, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, we do that.
I'm excited for the Yu Yu Hakusho line because that was like one of my favorites, like one of my favorite introductory animes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so like SHF. So if you like an anime, like when Demon Slayer first came out, it was visually beautiful, so I jumped into the Buzzmod stuff, and then now SHF's making it. You're like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Do you?
And then now they're doing My Hero Academia, so it's like,
My Hero. I got a couple at the beginning, and the show kind of did this.
Let me ask, because I see a lot of people with the same sentiment. I don't get it because I've been watching it. And I think it's good. Like people are hating on it.
I don't know. The training thing got a bit dragged out.
Okay.
Right. It got a bit dragged out, and it fell into like this format that you've seen in other shows.
Mm-hmm.
We train, level up. It's like, again, all right, let's just get to the level up.
I thought that was just shonen in general. That was.
It is. It's shonen in general. That's the. It's the pulp magazine thing. The guy doesn't know what he's writing, so he's just gonna fucking do 40 episodes of training so he can figure out what he's doing afterwards. I mean, like I said, Jujutsu Kaisen, same thing. We have a season of training that you just dumped.
Mm-hmm.
You met all, the panda guy, all these cool characters. Where the fuck are they? They're just like, yeah, fuck it. Let's get on to the story now.
Yeah.
Like you figured out the story. Now we're going to tell it.
Once you've dealt with Bleach, where there is like towards like current status, he's like 5 different things in one person. Every arc is like, oh, he's part this. Oh yeah, he's part that. It's just like after that, I'm like, nothing phases me. I'm like, all right, cool. All right.
Yeah, you just got to have that patience. I don't know. As you get older, you're like, all right, you start identifying the formulaic aspect of the shonen. You're like, all right, let's move on. And then like like I'm a big fan of Dorohedoro, which is like a weird. And you like those, Blame or Blam, these more kind of like indie, like the storytelling formats, a bit different. I lean into that more. Mm-hmm. So I was stoked that they're going to do a season 2 of that because visually season 1
comes out this year.
That came out a while ago, right? That's
a while ago, man.
They're taking so long between like with hype anime, all the series like Chainsaw Man, They take Attack on Titan was my biggest pet peeve because I actually liked their show and it took like years between seasons. I was like, dude, I'm forgetting all the fucking names. I can't remember shit.
At
the end, I was confused. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. They also go to this tangent thing before they get onto the main story.
Oh yeah, back and forth.
And that guy revealed it. He's like, I didn't know what I was doing. The creator was like, I had to do this, so I had time. I had to create time to figure out because I didn't know my shit would hit.
Yeah.
So they kind of revealed that, like, oh yeah, this is, and they, the company that Shonen, the publishers of Jump or whatever, they'll say, hey, do this, do that. You can buy time doing that. Yeah. So like Jujutsu Kaisen, I have arguments with anime fans, like they love it, and I'm like, yeah, but there was a whole fucking season that was just useless. Like in terms of creative output and effort, you could have used that energy to make it more unique.
I think it's decent, but it's lacking a little bit on like, making me actually care about the character,
exactly,
and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Demon Slayer has a very similar issue, whereas great animation story wise is kind of choppy and a little like not what I like, but I still watch it just for the fuck of it. So like I would say that it's like pros and cons. I mean, it's whatever. It's visually pleasing. So I'm like, all right, I'll put it on.
Yeah, that's the thing. That for me as well. Like Demon Slayer, it's the visuals that.
Yeah.
Like what they're doing with the animation was like, oh shit, this is the same thing with like Chainsaw Man. The animation was just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
aren't they making a movie? Right? They're not doing a new season. They're doing like a movie or something.
They're doing that format. I think Demon Slayer format where they make the movie and then that will come probably be chopped up into the start of the next season.
They did that for the Kang arc.
Yeah,
that was originally a
right?
movie, and they were like, "Yeah, nah, fuck it, here you go."
That's actually quite common in Japan, though. They they make the movie so they can have a bigger budget, right? And then to fulfill the contract of the TV show, they just make the movie into 3 or 4 episodes. Yeah, it's one of those weird things because the seasons in Japan don't follow like American Western seasons. You know, they're much shorter. Yeah, you can. That's why 8 to 12. That's a season.
Yeah.
So if you have 20, that's actually 2 seasons being fulfilled in 1 year. So if there's a contract, and I think the Chainsaw Man stuff, there was a contract thing because it just blew the fuck up. All right, and they're like, we're gonna renegotiate.
I mean, they really
which
doubt that?
props
The
to
manga
them.
was a
Yeah.
hit. The manga was a hit.
Huge. I was reading the manga like, this is fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome. And
like
then
One Punch Man, I knew that was gonna be a hit once they adapted it into an anime. I'm like, if I heard that in like manga format, it's definitely gonna fucking hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then the thing I really liked about Chainsaw Man is they literally did panels in the animation. They literally like that moment in the anime, the double press page spread, it's there. And you can overlay it. It's the same image. It was pretty cool. Nice. Yeah. So I collect everything, man. I collect too much.
Well, you said you got the Joy Toy Turtles, right?
Yeah, that's fuck you, KJ. I tried. I was like, no more new lines, no more new lines. And then this is one of those things where
nice.
the local store got it in, and it's cheaper than the States.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So all these guys shipped were like 110, 112.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Really cheap.
Wow.
Only 160 over here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I gotta pay 120 for just to get all the Street Shark toy.
It's you're like, fuck, man.
Do you think though, since you got the 1/18 scale now, you're gonna probably do some 1/18 dios?
I hope not.
Don't do it, Killers.
Don't do it. Don't do
man.
it. Screw
So,
these
like-
Warhammer guys. Screw.
Yeah, the war. Yeah. So I like when those were first coming out, it was like maybe 3-4 years ago, right?
Yes.
And a couple guys like, you got to just get one just to feel how they are. They're amazing.
Yep.
And I got one of the 3-packs, and I was like, oh my god, these are fucking amazing. And
John and Chris and Dimitri's whole like,
Dude, you got a touch point night.
They just updated the actual articulation, and they're closer now to what you do for 112. So like, there's actual butterfly joints that you can actually move.
Oh my god!
Wow.
The actual armor now is on a hinge, so you can do a full like.
It's got like a barbell thing.
Yes.
So it sticks in there, and it's yeah.
And this is actually taller. I think the actual Joy Toy ones, the older bodies, are like this small. So it's basically way bigger now.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger. So
Joy Toy is like a big legit company that they're able to get like official licenses, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, these guys. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sorry for you guys who are collecting them because they're fucking ruthless, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They just
every
keep
Wednesday.
hitting it.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday.
I'm like, whoa. But that, I mean, you guys know it's Warhammer. That's, I mean, look at,
I'm just waiting for Slanesh stuff.
That's I've seen, even the miniature dudes. I remember I worked at a comic book store as a teenager, and hundreds of the miniatures of guys would paint in the store, you know, and you're just like, dude, it looks amazing, and you buy it, like, I can do that. No, I can't do that.
That's Chris right there, man. Chris, he does the whole tabletop and the painting.
Oh yeah.
I got into the figure line because of the mini, like the miniature, and they're so close to the actual models. It's insane. Like
and then they move. Hey, Skelly. What up? Thanks to Skelly's one of the dudes that I think he got in on the first one. Like
we're on your city, your alleyway, one of the older ones. I remember.
What is he not collecting though?
Yeah,
that man has like.
Yeah, Skelly's crazy, man. But the cool, like, he also like he's very fast to do this.
Yeah,
because it's like, no, I don't like it. You're out. So if you missed out on a figure, just look out for his post.
Yep.
Like, I'd be all over it, but it's like, I can't ship that here. It just doesn't make it worthwhile. So.
Yeah. Nice. So the Mezco before Doc Knock, what was the last one you got? It was last screen. You get Ghostface? No, right?
I didn't get Ghostface. No, I didn't get Ghostface. In terms of like in hand, the last one I just opened was, I think it was Duke. Duke is the last one I opened.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh wow.
But like I haven't opened my 2-pack Dick Tracy because it just arrived like 3-4 weeks ago. Because like I said, I'm always late getting the stuff because it's just like I wait till a box gets to a certain size and then ship it. So it's literally like sometimes it's 8 months old stuff, and then I ship it out. So and then the Duke, the Joe's hit hard for me, man. And
Hell
then
yeah,
I
man.
did this.
Nice.
Oh, let me bring that up. What is that?
Wolverine head sculpt.
Oh, nice.
Ugh.
Is that custom head or did you just like kit bash that? Oh,
it's a custom head, and then that's just Duke.
Nice.
Oh, that just for me, that's like gives me.
It
all
fits
the
snugly
feeling.
on the neck peg. No issues.
Oh, this is a.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let
A
the secret out,
customizer's
man.
best friend, man. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I got a few head sculpts in for, like.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I didn't like
Damien.
the Damien ones. They're a bit too. I don't know. Yeah.
You're more of a
So-
Dick Grayson fan.
I like Dick. I mean, no. Jason Todd was the big thing when I was a kid because like I was buying the weeklies when he got killed, man.
Didn't your generation, or I guess the generation before you, like voted him to die?
Yeah, we killed him.
Yeah, not me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was like. I remember the ad in the back of the comic, and it was basically guys in the States.
They were
I was
so
in
mad
Australia
that
at
Dick
that
Grayson was no longer Robin. They're like,
Yeah.
the same thing happened with my generation.
They killed him off.
Whoever with Damian Wayne. At first, everyone was like, "Fuck this guy! I don't want this kid."
Yeah,
Recon.
But then,
Recon.
the Red Hood's a favorite now, right? So
Yeah.
bringing that back, everyone loves Red Hood, and so yeah.
Is there
like
any
the
new
90s.
figures you're waiting for this year coming out?
I really like the Metal Slug figures from Tunchi Studios, and
nice.
I don't know if it's coming out this year, but they announced like the camel and the mech. Fucking hell. So KJ and I we're on a stream on Friday nights called Highly Posable, and as you can tell, there's a certain level of banter, which is just basically giving each other shit for 2 hours, loosely based around toy news.
Yeah, Highly Posable is great. Met them at Legion's Con. Check
word.
that out Fridays.
Yeah. I don't know if those are coming out this year or not, man. Tunchi's a bit slow with their releases, man. But those are awesome. All the Berserk stuff from SHF, like Zod's coming out.
Nice.
I'm really excited for that. Yeah. I'm just looking over there at my cabinet.
Did you get into the Cowboy Bebop stuff or the?
They didn't do Faye. Fuck that.
Oh yeah, they stopped the dropped it, right?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yep.
Fuck you, SHF. They have the fucking prototype. It turned up at toy shows.
Yep.
They just gave up on it. That's probably because Netflix did the show and then like it just bombed and they're like,
we thought it. I know. We thought it was. I thought, it's coming back. No, fuck you.
I thought it was gonna be good.
I did the geek thing of I will not support you. Not that they give a shit. But,
I did that for One Piece. I was hoping that show would bomb and everyone liked it. I was like, "Are you serious?"
I'm like, One Piece is weird how they're releasing it. I'm a bit annoyed with that. It's like, can't we get the crew done? We don't have the crew done. We're starting to dip into the the second tier characters. So yeah. Japanese stuff. With the Tunchi stuff, I mean, I'm really into all the snail shell Hasuki girls.
That's all original like designs and characters.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Hasuki's in-house. Snail shell often works with artists.
Nice.
So yeah, which is pretty amazing.
Hasuki has pretty good freaking figures. I just got their what's it called? I think it was like their Black Ops figures, and those are insane quality.
They are, right? They remind me of Damn Toys, but sturdier.
Yes. Yes.
Like Damn Toys was. Yeah, this is a good looking figure. Yeah.
I think there's like a demon one that's coming
Notice
out.
you were
I
posting
think it's
that.
Hasuki.
Yeah, she just arrived this week, and like
This is metal slug or
Snail
what's it
Shell.
called?
No,
Snail
Snail
shell.
Shell.
Snell.
I'm
Oh,
surprised because I thought that you do like a theme. They do like tech, like a pumpkin robot girl. And then they
it
do like a
depends.
spider.
I think
Oh.
that what's it called? That like demon one I showed you, KT with like mouth. I think that's part of that line as well.
Oh, so it's
no,
not
that's
always.
another
Oh,
brand.
that's
That's another brand.
That is okay.
Yeah, another brand. From
But
Snail
this is the
Shell, like
first one I seen.
yeah, they collaborate with artists, so that's why it's always different. They have it
I didn't
in
even see
house.
this one come out. That's dope.
She just came out. And
Yeah,
this is the weird thing, like the States, 5K is just getting their stock, and we in Indo we got our stock as well. So if it's a China Asia release, we get it on time.
Oh
It's
wow.
fucking Hasbro. Like Hasbro, there's indie toy stores here that'll get in about. Sometimes we get early. Like I got the bats like 3 months earlier than the rest of the states. It was a weird thing. And then if you order through like the old Toys R Us here, like they rebranded.
Yeah.
I still am waiting for my Professor X from the 275 cover with the the space helmet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I still haven't got it. That's now at your
Jeez.
discount stores in the States, right?
Yeah, it's like
it's
Ollie's,
a
I think.
weird thing out here. Yeah, it's a very different collecting world, or not
Pace.
format, I should say. Like
Yeah.
pace and
Yeah.
pace is a good word. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this is this is getting into the lewd anime girl kind of world. All the bits come off, but they're actually like in terms of the build quality, these figures are top tier, man. They move like butter. They feel like similar to like if you got the Mafex DD last year and the Bane, like they Mafex kind of like upped it, right? They move better than the older Mafex. Like there's something there they did.
Oh.
I don't know what it is, but yeah,
They don't really feel like figures that you would see from a third-party company. They really do feel very, very high quality.
Yeah. No, like I don't call like for me, they're not a third-party company. They're just an indie company from China.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like I guess Noda was one of the first guys that really pushed that envelope.
Yeah.
And then they did Aton, for their non-IP stuff. And now, I mean, that Wukong set. If they put it out today, it would still be like one of the best things. But they did it 2 years ago, right? So yeah.
Are they continuing that line or no?
They are. They got the one of the mythical bird guys coming out, like
he's a part of that. Oh, okay.
He's part of that world, that mythical world. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you played the Black Myth Wukong game, but
I have.
Yeah, it got me re into that Wukong mythology.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for that. What's it called? The Mofigs Wukong line. That one I'm excited for. I've been talking to them recently, and I was like,
"Oh yeah,
that freaking figure, dude! Yeah."
I love that they made the warthog.
Yes, they're going pretty hard. You should get it.
Yeah, I saw they just had the thing in Japan, and then they're like, here the whole cast.
Yeah,
I don't know when it's coming out, but and then did you guys talk about the Batman and all that and from them?
Oh, no. I brought it up, I believe. I think we talked about it, actually. No, we did.
The Arkham?
Like they did
Batman?
the Arkham. Yeah. They did that. And they have like Red Death, The Bat Who Laughs, and a few other ones like what other ones they have. But they have Doomsday.
They got Doomsday. It looks badass.
Yeah. I didn't see Doomsday.
It's literally just Inert
Nolan
Studios,
Batman.
but the 112. Yes.
Yeah. Which I like the last Nolan Batman I had was from I forgot. It was one of those indie companies, but it was licensed and it just falls apart.
Mafex?
No. It came out after the Mafex, and like you shake it and like the leg falls off. It's one of those. It's like
Is it an actual figure, or is it more like the SHF how they do the model kits?
This was a figure. It was I forgot the brand.
I want to say it sounds like Figma to me, but I might be.
No. It wasn't a big jam. It was it was a smaller brand.
Wasn't that Moto King one?
Was it Moto King? I don't know. It was horrible. It really because it had a soft goods cape. That's why I bought it. I was like, and at that time the Mafex, we had version 1, 2, 2.5. Right, and they were all going up in price, and I was like, I'll buy this one instead. Nope. Yeah, it was fucking POS.
I can't find it.
So I gotta ask because I never hear about Figma much on the state side. Is Figma big in Asia in general or no?
So Figma is because of the anime.
Well, not even just that. I think it's big, just not collector wise, KT. I feel like it's way, like you said, anime as well. A lot of people collect Figma because of the anime side and just have it there, just posed up. Not really doing photography.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I mean,
And
they're
then-
doing far more game stuff, like the Doom Slayer.
right.
That's what I got it for. My girlfriend wants Bloodborne figures as well as the Demon Slayer, or not Demon Slayer, Demon Soul stuff.
They made the best Solid Snake, right? That was Figma, I think.
Yeah, and they're re-releasing him, right?
Yeah,
as an upgrade. Yeah. No, the Figma stuff. Well, Figma used to be bigger. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
It used to be much bigger, right? Because they were the ones doing like everything, and then Bandai's kind of stepped up now and doing a lot of the shonen stuff. But it used to be just Figma, and you can't forget, like, it's Good Smile Company, so they got the fucking Nendos,
Mhm.
and Nendos, like, you can't. Funko Pops aren't a thing out here in Asia. It's the chibis. It's the Nendos.
Yeah.
The price point of a Nendo out here, it's like for you guys, $15 to $20. Like, you imagine those things are $15-$20 at your local comic store. You're in. You can't help it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're at the register. You're looking at it. Yeah, you're like, fuck it, And before you know it, you got a dozen. Like, what the fuck? I wasn't collecting these. But they're cute. They're called, and they got great accessories and shit.
I was gonna say accessories and articulation compared to freaking Funkos.
I know, and they have like upgrade kits, soft good kits. You're like, fucking hell, no, not another line. Yeah,
was good. Was good. NYC figure.
Yeah,
but like even on their figure side, I feel like I do see them a lot, just way more in a different community than our community, which is perfectly fine. I do like them because I just got the Dead Space figure in. I love Dead Space. But
the Max Factory subline,
yes,
fucking top tier.
I like them a lot. They've been getting a lot better, but I do have the issue. Like, I think I'm just so used to what we usually get from stateside, especially even Mafex, the joint systems. I don't like seeing the joints still, but
they got a weird thing up here sometimes. It's like restrictive, right?
But I do notice both with SHF and Figma, they are kind of conforming to a more how Mezco and Mafex does their stuff when it comes to joints, but they're still like in their own niche.
Yeah, so Figma definitely took a lot, was slower to adapt that.
Yes,
for sure. And whether it was a production lead time thing, but I think also like Figma is also really popular because they make the girls.
Yes.
They make the girls, and the knee, for example, they don't want to break the sculpt too much because they know, like you mentioned, the majority of the people that are buying it are going to pose it in one pose and put it on the shelf.
Yep.
They're not doing dynamic posing every day, doing photos, even though they have that good smile in real life hashtag, or used to at least. Everyone's actually, that's the majority of their collectors. They like the game or the anime IP, and they just buy the figure, put it on a shelf. That's it.
Yep.
So they want it to look clean. I know that, So, it's a plus minus, but I think the Max Factory stuff is where they push it a bit more. And the one that kind of blew me away is I don't know if you guys got it, but they did this kind of subgenre of the girls on the not roller skates, but these rollerblade things, and they had like a die-cast legs, and they're called the Moto Runner. The cyborg Moto Runner girls, and I think they've had 7 different colorways. It's the same girl. It's die cast on the bottom.
Oh, I see them.
Yeah, and that, like, in terms of articulation, is insane. Like, oh shit, butterfly joints where they can fully go around. They can bend in half. Die cast legs.
I'm gonna send it to you right now, John, in the chat.
Yeah, these things. So I was impressed by that, but again, I don't know, they're bits, whether they're slow or they don't communicate in divisions or whatever. But I got really excited when that came out. Oh, they're gonna start doing. No, they haven't changed much. It's still the same. It's just this line. Yeah, these girls.
Wow, 179.
Oh, don't fucking dude, bro. We know you don't buy Japanese figures on BBTS, man. No way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, somebody did because it's sold out. The pre-order sold out. So
Are they?
I think they just closed the window. That's all it was.
What, Chris?
oh,
Are they in that 6-inch range? Like, are they 112?
They're a bit
I'll go grab
smaller.
one. I'll go.
Oh, because I have like the what's it called? I have the Berserk figure, which is Guts, and he's usually a bit bigger since Guts in the manga and anime is a tall figure.
Yeah.
I would say he's closer to like a flat 6-inch, but like his proportions are smaller than like what you would see on Marvel Legends.
Interesting. So this is like it reminds me of oh my god, it was an old school PlayStation game where like you were like in a suit of armor with like wheels on your knees and like and your arms, and you would race. It was I'm thinking about
Wheels
I
on
can't
your
do the
knees.
name.
Oh, I like that little box that looks like a Marlboro pack. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Was that their intention?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Or is it just the design?
I think just because the color pattern, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
I
That's
got
all the accessories.
I wonder if
so-
smoking in Japan is still prevalent
Ooh, nice.
as it was.
Oh yeah, it's still
Oh, still?
a thing
Oh.
because it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's still wicked cheap. So
Nice.
That's an wait. That's so that thing we saw. I guess it's a base then. That like
yeah,
box.
so it's a base. Yeah,
The little-
and,
the little
it
cigarette
has
thing,
a very interesting kind of like it clips into her backpack. It's got a ball peg here. It's like a whole different kind of base, and then you store the accessories in here.
The base is like a
nice.
part of the figure though, which is nice. It's not like an actual like just like translucent piece.
Yeah, and then there's another one where if you don't want to have this thickness, you just need it for a stand. Like they have just a thin piece as well. So
Man,
she comes with face plates. Yeah, it's just, and this is all die cast. Yeah, this is all metal.
It's
So
articulated.
there's a weight.
Yeah, worry about
Yeah, it's fully articulated. Yeah,
nice.
it's really nice, right? And it moves like butter.
So how many of those do you have?
She's number 4.
Okay.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Have you noticed any issues with the diecast? Because I was looking at like stuff, like newer stuff coming out that has diecast, like the 1000 toy stuff, and I've been seeing a lot of issues with those and having trouble with articulation or stuff falling off completely.
No, not with these girls.
Nice.
I haven't opened the re-released Hellboy, so. But I don't think he's got metal, right? He doesn't have any metal in there.
I know a lot of the Halo stuff right now is all diecast.
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm staying away from Halo. I try and be good. And say no.
I had to force myself because it was like 180 plus shipping, 200 for each figure. It's like I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
they cost mad money. Yeah.
Yeah, I think George is 210, 220 because he's bigger.
You see, but your U.S. dollar right now is just destroying the rest of the world, man.
Yeah,
it's like Japan's on fire sale for you guys, dude. It's insane because we just got back there from the beginning of the year, and we had family from the States visit us there, and the kids, the teenagers, are like, yeah, what the fuck, everything's so cheap here. Because your dollar is worth so much right now.
Yeah, when I was younger, it was like the opposite. When I went to
Japan, the opposite, yeah.
When I was in Japan, everything was more expensive. So like, I think it was only happened like I don't know. Probably have a more accurate timeline, but it did happen like recently, like in last few years. One of my coworkers actually was like, "Hey, I went to Japan for like a couple like whatever. It was like a few racks." And she's like, "I went to Japan for that much." I was like, "What?" I was like, "How is that possible? Did you stay like someone's dungeon or something? Like while you're there, you eat like this ramen, instant ramen?" She's like, "Nah, like fucking."
So if you went just before the pandemic, it was like the accommodation was cheaper. They've kind of bumped up the price of accommodation, but the daily stuff, your food and all that's cheaper now because of the dollar rate.
Yeah.
Right. It's nuts, man. It's nuts.
It's a good time to get into imports. That's what you guys are saying.
Basically, yeah. If you want, right now, pay up front for your pre-orders if you're buying from the Japanese sites. Don't do the pay later.
Yeah, they've been selling out. Insane. Because I didn't do that for that Dead Space figure. Luckily though, I got it from Toy Mirth. Instead of 110 or 120, I got it for like $78.
Nice.
Yeah, even Amazon JP can give you decent prices if you're early enough.
Oh, nice.
Let's try that.
And they send by DHL for like 2,000 yen, which is $15. Which I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
And it turns up, it is 2 days later. Huh? Holy shit!
When I was into Sofubi, a big thing was
Yeah,
going on Yahoo Japan.
Yahoo auctions, man.
Yeah,
Yahoo auctions, dude.
Mm.
Yeah, Yahoo auctions changed a lot. There's a lot of bootleg, a lot of KO knockoffs.
That was the issue with Sofubi.
Yeah. Back in the day, and like in the early thousands, it was all legit. You were safe, like you just click, and then back then they didn't have like buy and things, so you had to have a buddy in Japan. And send the link to him, send the money to him. That was all like proxy service thing. Yeah.
What's the current one that you guys, Dimitri, that you get your Joy Toys from? That's also kind of like it. It's like, I'm talking. I forgot the name of it because I don't use it.
The site?
Yeah, the Japanese, the Asian site, the Asian site. It's not Japanese.
AliExpress.
AliExpress. That's what it is.
AliExpress is from China. Yeah.
I don't know if that's already.
They are, man. That shit's legit. Yeah. It's legit.
Yeah, that's where I got these from.
Yeah. I just picked up this dude on Ali. I think.
Oh my god!
The regular rate it was 130 something. It was like 98 or something on Ali.
Yeah, you see, so that you're getting the Asian price there.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know what it is, and it doesn't seem to be just like import fees. It seems to be there's something else going on. For when it gets to the States, they got to up that price. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. Is it there's more license? Is the license fee changes or something, or is there some like price matching that they do? I don't know what it is. Something with their distro over there, they got to pay him more. But all you guys know, all the Joy Toy stuff out in Asia is cheaper.
Yeah. I just thought they were trying to make more bucks, so I could not get off.
Yeah, like so if you go to like the toy cons here or toy fairs or the pop-up things like that, you can get them for, like I mentioned, these brand new, so they're like 30 each, no less, 26 each, right?
Damn.
You can get Joy Toy Warhammers for under $20.
Wow.
And so you see these guys, they just they don't come with bags, they come with trunks.
Yeah.
Like the Warhammer thing it's another level, man. Like, good luck, guys.
I mean, I'm trying to, like you said, I'm trying to be good, but man, Dimitri and Chris, man, they really got me into.
Dude, you have more than me. I have like 4 figures.
Yeah,
I know.
I thought you were talking like I have 120 figures. No. Okay, all right. 4 figures is nothing. That's a pack in one.
No, I just wait till they're on sale. Cause I've been trying to go on Amazon sales. I'm like $20. I'm like, I pay for that. So so far, this is the most expensive one, but this was a gift card. It was $50 gift card. This was $50 over here. But I believe these ones are special edition, like limited edition for the video game. It's based off the video game. And these are their first newest bodies from this stuff. So $50 I'm fine with, but they come with a lot. But I'm like, I don't want to spend over $20 because I'm so used to 1/18th being a bit cheaper besides Acid Rain. I know Acid Rain is up there.
Yeah, Acid Rain, yeah.
But they're
surprised you guys aren't fans of Quick Toys or Quick, the
I know.
Artists,
so yeah, he's actually, I think he's Indonesian. So that's just a weird thing that it's just a personal preference thing. So there's a brand called Acronym that makes clothing, and Acronym was one of the purveyors of like this tech wear street ninja shit.
Yeah.
And these Indo guys just basically copied designs from the original and made it bootleggy cheap. And they don't use Gore-Tex, they use something else. They don't this, they use something else. So, I was like, okay, we all start somewhere. We all, it's okay to like take inspiration from, but yeah, it was one of those things. So I don't know if you guys know Ender's Shadow. He's really into cyberpunk stuff. And he does a lot of photos with the cyberpunk girls and things like that. He sometimes buys the 1/6, but he's into all that line. And I just give him shit all the time. Because I show up like the original jacket from a designer, and then like, you see that all they did was put lines on it, print.
So let me ask, entertainment wise, like what are you into now? Like, are you like a big, I don't know, like an MCU fan, DCU fan, do you, whatever's popping.
James Gunn.
Well, I'm hopeful. I'm ever optimistic, but I hope Gunn does well. I mean, the Peacemaker series was amazing. In terms of what I'm watching now, I'm not watching anything because I just don't have the time. Like my wife and I are like, we haven't watched a series in like 10 months. I'm like, I know, we're such losers. My kids are like 11 and 7, so there's the 11-year-olds starting to stay up later, so we get less our time. It used to be like they're in bed by 9:30 and you got a couple hours. Now they're like, she's up till 10:30, 11 as well, and you're like, go to bed already, God damn it. Go be a nerd in your room by yourself,
Yeah.
Why are you in the living? Why are you on the TV in the living room? It's like So she hogs it, man.
Yeah,
she likes to just hang out in the living room. I'm like, okay. And then Marvel Rivals came out, so I'm playing that in my free time.
I gotta get on that because I know Dimitri.
You're gonna be
Skelly's on that
game.
Yeah. I have over 100 hours already.
Who are you maining right now, 78? Who are you maining?
Oh, I'm trying to do the democratic thing of like, I'm gonna play. I give everyone a go.
Yeah.
I give everyone a chance. But every now and then you're like, oh, this person's like, I get the vibe. So I was doing very well with Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And then I moved into what's her name? Mantis. I was like fucking killing it with Mantis. Like you get the support, you get the assists and the kills. And then Thor was fun because he just goes and just bludgeons everyone.
Yeah.
And so I was like, the last 2 days, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try Star-Lord. I suck at Star-Lord. I'm playing on console, right? I'm not playing on PC.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I also like Shang-Chi. It was fun.
Lethal, man. Lethal.
Because he just comes in and just punches his shit. The audio, his shit, it just makes me.
Oh, you mean Iron Fist? I've been calling him Shang-Chi.
I mean, Iron Fist. Yeah, Iron Fist.
We know who you meant. We know who you meant.
I know, yeah.
I bet. Yeah. Iron Fist comes in and just starts speaking Chinese or something, punching everyone. I think it's hilarious. It's I don't know. It reminds me of old like Kung Fu flick. Yeah, he just comes in. It's like, ni hao, motherfucker. Everyone's like, fuck, it's Iron Fist, and everyone runs away.
They did so many memes of like if Iron Fist enters the game, like I want all the Star Wars scene from the new trilogy, the latest one, where we have Adam Driver screaming, I want you to aim all your missiles at that guy.
Yeah,
I mean, all of them.
Well, fuck Scarlet Witch, man. Everyone, fuck her. God damn it.
She's
like she's just too easy, man.
Yeah,
no skill. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like whenever someone's Scarlet Witch, you're like, fuck you, man. So I just hunt her. I'm like, fuck the game. I'm just gonna hunt you.
I would have figured Venom would be a popular choice.
He's
I guess.
popular.
Dude, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they have every single season. They'll have like the characters' top choices, who's used. He's in like top 3.
Oh, okay.
No, dude, like out here, the MCU hit, but like the biggest movies out here are the Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like
even Kraven,
especially the Toby, the Toby Spider-Man movies, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Oh, okay.
They're the people's absolute favorite films, man. Like more than the MCU, the Spidey movies. I don't know. It's interesting. Spidey.
Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. Maybe because he's not buff. He's not this or that. He's just the average kid.
Mm-hmm.
And most kids out here, just because of, we don't have that physicality out here in Asia. Maybe that's something they link onto, and he's not handsome or this or that, So maybe that's it.
They start making like good looking
actually
past Toby's
Kinda,
yeah.
Yeah, like Toby wasn't a sexy guy, right? Never was, right?
Yeah.
So I think there was something there. But dude, like that's guys my age, in their 40s. Like, what's your favorite movie? And they're like, Spider-Man. It's not a movie from when you were a kid. It's like, no, you're like in the 20s. You saw Spider-Man. I'm like, okay,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So the Spidey, the Venom, they love Venom. They those Sony movies do well out here.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Weird. We'll make sure you guys pay attention for Morbius too. I want to see it.
I'm not saying Morbius did well. I'm saying the Venom movies. There's a line there. Morbius,
Craven,
nobody saw it. Nobody saw Craven. I don't even think it was released here.
Or Madam
Web.
Like
in the,
wow.
I don't think.
Madam,
I think it's straight
God.
to. Madam Web was in the cinemas here for literally a week.
Damn.
It was that
They
good.
put it out. And they're like, No one's gonna get fucked out.
It was so bad. Like I went into it, and I'm not hard. Like I usually can find something I like.
I
about
try
it,
to
like
support. I try and go watch all those in the movies, in the cinema, in the theater.
Yeah.
And I went Madam Web like the second week, and they're like, "Oh, it's gone." I'm like, and I checked the app. I'm like, "Shit, it's gone." But it only came out, and they're like, "Yeah, 1 week." Dude, that's rough.
Like out here.
You're
On
done.
streaming.
Yeah.
Well,
and streaming out here. Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of movies, though, like over here, since cinema's kind of like not doing as good compared to like other forms of media, they've been doing the fucking popcorn shit, the popcorn buckets.
Oh,
They're doing that over there because like it's something that I've been
you guys, I'm so jealous of those.
No,
you guys don't get it?
No. I bought the Barbie car. I bought the Barbie one. I bought the car.
Nice.
No, yeah, I've been using them for like dios. Like I did the
Yeah,
I got the
man.
Deadpool and Wolverine one. I'm like, I want the Nosferatu. I was like thinking like Mezco should just do a re-release of Nosferatu, but do an actual coffin like that kind of box. Like just pay the extra money and do a die cast of a box as a packaging of the coffin.
Oh, instead of the lunchbox being a rectangle, make it
I would pay like $200 for that. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind.
They might. You never know. They might.
No, I don't know that Nosferatu re-release. I did not pre-order that.
I don't have one, so I went ahead and did it. So.
Oh, word! He's a great figure. No, that's I got the first two. Yeah. My first one is now a Scarecrow for Batman custom. So I put like the head. Swap them out.
Who sells those heads? Who sells those Scarecrow heads for the Nosferatu?
So, dude, we're going back how many years now, bro?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I'm getting old, man. My short-term memory ain't like what it used to be. But it was a guy in Texas. I know that.
Oh, jeez.
And the weird thing is, he's from Indonesia, living in Texas, because that was a thing. Because he saw my name and my address, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "I'm Indonesian." I'm like, "Well, I live here. I'm not Indonesian." He's like, "What?" It was the whole thing. Like, can you send it to my in-laws in Arkansas? And he's like, "Yeah, I can do that." What? Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, it is a thing. It is what it is." So yeah, he's an Indonesian dude, and it's his. So he gave me his last, like, I don't know if he's made him again or what, but at that time he's like, "All right, this is my last one. I'm getting out of the game," and mine has a split in the back, so I had to use putty to fill it up. But he's got the old school Scarecrow hat and the straw coming out. I'll just go get him.
Nice.
You don't have to. It was a popular sculpt, and I remember, like, I feel like even though we don't have a Scarecrow,
how old is this?
Kind of like I want to say like 3-4 years ago. This is probably pandemic times. I remember seeing it a lot.
I need to find out who it is. If it's in Texas.
Yeah, hunt him down.
I think other people have like a similar print though. If you look around, I just can't remember. I stopped messing with custom Mezcos for a hot minute. So,
dude, it is just so expensive. Like customs are just too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
my most expensive one was. No, sorry, John. Go ahead.
No, you say you stopped collecting Mezcos for a hot minute?
I stopped customizing in general. Like I stopped getting into it. Like I used to be into it. I commissioned someone to customize a Mezco Steel Serpent.
So good.
That's the
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is sweet.
It works perfect on that body.
Yeah, right.
So the hat spot, that's all one piece, the hat here, everything.
Well, you can see there's like it's split in the back. So
oh yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Yeah," but from the front you don't see it.
Yeah. That looks amazing.
It seems like such a no-brainer for Mezco. Like,
right?
Yeah.
So when I did this, I was like, "Yeah, they're gonna release him," but they've never done it, and I've just kept it 3 years like this. Yeah. That's why I bought the second one. I was like,
the anime series. Mezco.
I mean, they might do because they're doing like the retro golden age kind of stuff. They might do him instead. Mezco's weird. They never really complete anything.
Yeah, they pivot a lot.
They do a lot. We get bored or something.
Yeah, we did have Paige.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I watched that. Yeah. It's just like I love you, Mezco, but fuck you, Mezco. I'll buy everything still, but fuck you.
It's like that. What's it called when you wanted KT to plan the apes line and they just stopped after one figure?
Yeah.
Star Trek.
After the
Dr.
Zay's. Yeah.
But hey, come on. Everybody could have told him that. Like, bro, really? No. Like, No, not in this collector world. Maybe like in a 1/6 world, maybe
1/6 for sure. I feel like would
You mean Planet of the Apes?
Mm.
No. I think if they use the Matt Reeves version of the movies, I think that would have been a hit. Like
NECA did it. NECA did
I get it. Like Star Trek, they did the same thing. They dropped like two. They did like 3 characters and like 1 variant, and then they teased. They had it. I remember being at the convention. They showed
Star Wars over Star Trek or Star Trek over Star Wars. I mean, like the consensus.
I'm the only Star Trek fan here, so.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I mean, I enjoy both.
I do love Star Trek though.
Yeah,
I do too. Yeah, I like it. But I mean, Star Wars is going to be just a little bit higher than Star Trek.
Well, to be fair, I'm also younger than you guys. Way younger. Like I'm 23, so my Star Trek was basically the what's it called movies? The
reboot movies.
The reboot.
Yes, the reboot. But I also went back to TNG because my dad loves Star Trek.
No, don't do that. Don't never do that.
Your
Listen,
first
you had it great. If you guys were
come on.
introduced by the movies, you had a nice action-packed Star Trek to like keep going. TNG,
No, that's the thing. I like TNG though.
Why? It's just like I respect it for what it is, but it's just debates for like episodes on end, and it's like, hey, Picard, should we shoot missiles? Nah, I don't know. Let's talk about the semantics of the fucking. And then Worf is sitting there like, why won't you let me press this fire button for the love of God? Like, what's going on?
But wait a minute, you like it? You don't sound like you like it.
I love Star Trek, but Next Generation, that specific,
series,
I'm conflicted about. I love the Klingon Worf episodes, but not so much. I'm not as crazy about Patrick. What is his name? Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Complete insanity.
Wow,
complete insanity.
I
gotta. Even though I'm not a fan, I gotta go with Rob. I'm like, yo, Patrick.
I came in with badass Captain Kirk, like kicking alien ass, and then all of a sudden, and then being like, oh, maybe we should delegate and be political, type shit.
You mean laying pipe with alien ass? Okay.
So wait, Dimitri, was your first Star Wars the prequels?
Yep.
Wow,
oh, man.
That's insane.
That's a weird life.
Actually, it's weird because
the weird life.
That's a weird life, man.
No, my first Star Wars in theaters. I actually watched the previous ones before because my dad would put them on. So basically, my childhood was Blade, Aliens, and Star Wars the original. Then I went to the prequels.
Were you born in the 2000s though? I'm confused.
Yeah.
So you were back watching all this shit.
Yeah, because my dad would just put them on and I would watch them. Like I would love. I as a kid, I loved Van Helsing.
Can you get your dad to come on the stream instead? Hey.
No, but yeah, no, I freaking I watch so much older stuff, so that's why I have a more appreciation for it, because I way prefer that more than the new stuff. But I also still did love the prequels.
Yeah, I mean, it's like for me with I was born in '82, but I grew up on Exorcist and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, and those came out before.
What do you mean you grew up? How old were you when you were watching that shit?
I don't know, probably like 3 or 4. I remember. I mean, just sitting there. I remember being 6 years old watching Evil Dead, and my dad just walking past.
Dude, that's
me
a very different childhood to what he just described.
And I remember my dad just
my dad just put on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. My dad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't put it on. It's on cable, and my dad just looks over, going, "John, what are you watching?" And he just goes back to drinking and just drinking his little beer and just goes on. It's just he's out there barbecuing, man. He's making dinner. He's like, "What are you watching?" It's like
he just hears like.
It was the Wild Wild West, man, back then.
Yeah, it's funny because I grew up on horror as well. My biggest thing I love is horror, but I didn't get into. I got into as a kid, but I was so scared to watch. I would watch one movie, and the next few nights I wouldn't be able to sleep at all. For some reason, the Woman in Black scared the shit out of me. But I think what really kicked off my love for horror afterwards was I loved the Evil Dead 1 and 2, and then I watched the remake of which traumatized me. It was the remake of what was it? I just watched it with my girlfriend too. Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, that's
good. That's a good one.
Yeah, and I was like, I like this more grungier type of horror, so I started going back and rewatching older stuff, and that's what I was like, okay, let me keep going. So now, for me now, I've been numb to the horror, but I still love it. But I keep trying to chase that adrenaline feeder.
Yeah.
Adrenaline.
Do you ever notice
tough,
that like early, like I would say early, maybe mid 2000s up until early 2010s, there was this like weird stage where horror was in, where it was just like shitty. Like you got like Scream. What was the one with that Disney girl with Hayden, something like that? It was like
Scream
4.
4. That's
way
4.
before Jenna Ortega or Melissa Barrett came in. Yeah, that one.
That's Scream 4.
So there's like that one. There's like the Boogeyman. There's all these like kind of weird. It was like they didn't know if they want to be campy, if they didn't want to be like hardcore. It was just like a weird fucking.
There was all
like,
the remakes too. All the remakes came out.
It's a weird time for horror.
It was very formulaic. It was very much like all of them were kind of
Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Like that was a big one. Yeah.
The one I recently watched, I didn't watch back then when it came out, was The Collector. I kind of enjoyed that. Not gonna lie. Like rewatching it now as later on.
As a collector.
Yes.
Are you thinking about the movie called?
Yes, the movie The Collector.
Yeah.
Hey, that's me.
Well, that was part of the whole Saw wave, right?
Yes, the like the torture porn genre.
Yeah.
People still into that?
I don't.
I mean,
I feel like it's more. Well, no, I feel like it's more in the artsy side now, where it goes to like how substances, where it's more like has the gory side of it, but it's a bit more on like the artsy side.
My question for the Saw movies is, how is that old man still kicking? Like, I don't. Didn't that guy? How many movies was that guy dying for? What's going on?
Dude, I literally haven't watched it since probably part. I don't know. I only watched part.
They keep going. They won't like reboot it. Just reboot the damn thing. Why you keep going?
Well, they keep doing prequels. And then like,
they're going backwards. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember, but they keep doing like spinoffs. There's like they actually have one called Jigsaw. Then they had Red Spiral, right, with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spiral. I think it was a Spiral.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like on a hiatus, and it came back with Chris Rock. Yeah. I think he helped produce and write it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No way.
Jigsaw was really successful though. So.
Yeah.
Jigsaw.
It was
Jigsaw.
The last one, yeah.
The last one.
I wanted the puppet to be like real. I didn't want it to be like just like gimmick. I wanted it to be like an actual like monster thingy,
like a Chucky.
Yeah. But now we have for the younger generations, we have Megan that surprisingly did well.
I have not watched that yet.
I haven't seen that.
It's very like Child's Play. It's not like scary per se. It's just like kind of like it's just like horror campy kind of.
Yeah.
Well, the first Child's Play was way more horror centric. I mean, I rewatched that recently, and it didn't feel too campy.
All right, so Child's Play and even more like eased up on it. I would say. Yeah.
It's funny how Megan's kind of become like a gay icon now. Like that's like
what?
Yes,
I never heard about that.
They love Megan, man. I don't know. I think it was the dance scene or something.
That's hilarious. Gay horror. I never knew that was a genre.
I think there was an SNL skit about it too.
Dude.
That's awesome.
I didn't mind the Chucky reboot with Aubrey Plaza. Like I actually thought that was a decent movie.
Yeah.
That was essentially what
Plaza.
Megan was, not Chucky, just made it into a different character. Because they did the whole robotic AI thing with Chucky. Yeah.
What's his name? I think his name.
Did Chucky have a baby? Like he got married and had a baby or something like that? Oh my god.
Yeah. Bride of Chucky, man. That was.
I just watched that recently.
Oh my god.
Who's that girl with the voice? Jennifer Tilly or something like that? She has like
Jennifer Tilly,
raspy voice.
Yeah. She's got that whiskey voice.
She was a bombshell when we were kids.
Oof. Oh man. That was that movie. What was it called? Bound.
Bound. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Rob knows.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I was in college when that came out. So.
Anyways,
in the theater.
But yeah, guys, we hit the 9:00 mark, so I just want to be respectful of everyone's times. I sent
I gotta get to work.
We want to thank you again for tapping in and agreeing to hop on a live with us. It was a great time.
Man. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, man. John, you want to drop his username so everyone who doesn't know him, knows where to hit him up, and definitely stay in tune for all his future projects in the works. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode.
KT.
What's up?
If we plug in? Let's plug in Toymerks tomorrow for Wednesday. They have a really big giveaway tomorrow on Toymerks live stream. I think it's 5:30 my time.
You want to tell the people?
Yeah. So it's 5:30. I think it's Eastern Coast or Eastern. Oh no, Western. For East Coast, it's like I think it's 9:00. 7.
Yeah.
Just give us your time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tomorrow.
I don't know the time. I don't know the
Everything's
time.
happening tomorrow.
What time is it in Indonesia?
Indonesian time, yeah.
No, yeah, but what's it called? They have a live stream tomorrow, big giveaway, mezcos, everything, even like art books that are photographers in the community. So it's a really big giveaway tomorrow.
Nice.
If you can figure out the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone, go to Toy Merc's Instagram page to find out the details if you didn't understand what the was saying. But yeah, there's gonna be some kind of giveaway. That's all we know.
There's no show. Dimitri said there was all kinds of stuff being given away.
But thank you everyone for tuning in for this week's episode of Geeked Out Live. Stay tuned for next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll see you then. Stay classy.
Yeah.
Peace
Thanks,
out.
guys.
Peace out.
Yeah.